pass for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much, Debbie Matz, for being with us, Chair, for being with us today. It's good to see you. I want to thank the NCUA for its recent efforts in working to provide regulatory relief to credit unions that are sound and safe and stable. And I think doing so will be beneficial not only to the credit union members, but also to the American economy. I also appreciate your testimony today in support of legislation that Mr. Meeks and I have crafted to provide relief to credit unions from the member business lending cap. As you expressed, particularly for smaller credit unions, the current statutory cap makes it very difficult or impossible to successfully support the small business community. While your testimony specifically cites your support for this bill, H.R. 1188, the Credit Union Small Business Cap Jobs Creation Act, I also want to get your thoughts on H.R. 1422, the Credit Union Residential Loan Parity Act. As you know, this bipartisan bill would correct the disparity between banks and credit unions in the treatment of loans made to finance the purchase of 1 to 4 unit non-owner-occupied residential dwellings. I see this as a simple, straightforward fix, especially when you consider the potential positive impact in helping finance investment in multifamily and affordable housing. So I was going to ask you, Chair Matz, in this legislation, would the NCUA support this, and do you see a difference between 1 to 4 unit loans and commercial business loans?
Thank you. Yes, and thank you also for your sponsoring the IOLTA parity bill.
Thank you.
Yes, we certainly support that legislation, and in fact, in the risk-based capital rule, we treat the 1 to 4 residential units as consumer loans rather than business loans, but that's as far as we can go because of the statute. So we would welcome that relief.
I appreciate your support for that. I also encourage other members of the committee to join me in supporting this bill because it would unlock about $11 billion in credit union lending for small business. That's important. On another front, as you indicated in your testimony, improving the field of membership rule is a priority for the NCUA. You have even set up a separate working group to address regulatory relief needs on this front. I know the NCUA has a proposed rule addressing proposed streamlined field of membership procedures and is working to address issues related to community charters and occupation charters. And my question was, while much of this work could be left to the NCUA alone, is there anything Congress should be doing to address the field of membership issues in the statute?
Thank you for asking that. Yes, there are several things that can be done, but probably the most impact would be if community charters would be allowed to take on underserved areas. That would help keep the federal charter competitive and would provide relief to a number of community charters which really would like to take on underserved areas, but can't do it. And it really makes no sense. I can't figure out any reason for it. And we hate to say no, but we have no choice.
Thank you, Chair Matz, very much for your testimony here today. And Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back the balance of my time.